Hey guys, so this video here is a tutorial on the Deakin sheer makeup for the 2017. If you need a hand or you just need a few tips, just keep on watching this tutorial and hopefully it will give you a guide as to how I do my cheerleading makeup. So first I start off with priming the face. A primer will help nourish the skin as well as create a smooth base, so your makeup will actually last longer and hopefully it will last all the way through to the end of the day. The next step I do is I apply my foundation. I recommend using a medium to full coverage foundation as this will last longer, as well it will look better on stage and from afar. Then I just buff in my foundation. I use this with a beauty sponge, however you can use it with a brush or just with your hands, either one doesn't really matter. And that is same for all makeup throughout this tutorial. You don't actually have to use the exact products that I'm using. This is just to help you guys out if you need it. So after applying my foundation, I apply the concealer. You don't have to apply concealer, I just use it to conceal my dark under eyes as well as to highlight the high points on my face. And then I also buff this out just like I did my foundation. And after that, I end up setting my under eyes and also my entire face. This will lock the first layer of your foundation, so it is unlikely to move and will not get greasy throughout performing. So even if you get sweaty, it will still stay in place and not look too greasy. It'll have just kind of like a satin finish to it. Also regarding foundation, I recommend using a more matte finish foundation, just because if you use a dewy finish, then it's likely after you sweat and after warm up and everything like that on stage, you will actually end up looking like a slick ball, grease ball even. After setting my face, I then go in with my eyes. So I set the base of my eye because I have applied concealer to my eyelid. I set the base of the eye with a white or bone eye coloured eyeshadow. And I just apply that all over the lid pretty generously. This will help smooth out the eyelid as well as it will blend the other eyeshadows that go on top of it a lot more seamlessly. After that, I go into this light brown kind of warm tone shade and apply that. I dust it all over the lid, but mainly focusing it in the crease area, especially on the outer edge. After applying the lighter brown coloured shadow, then I go into a little bit of a deeper brown and I focus that more on the outer corner of my eye but blend it through to the inner corner, but focus most of the product on the outer corner and closer into the crease, not so much to that brow bone. Next, I go into my matte black eyeshadow and I lightly dip into this, tap off the excess just in case, and I focus it mostly on the outer corner of my eye and mostly on the lid, and I just blend it out into the crease area. As I go on, I'll add more black and deepen up the area. I just start off with a light amount so then I can focus on the shape that I want to create rather than looking like I stamped myself in the eye with black eyeshadow. Now I'm just grabbing the white, like a matte white eyeshadow. You can use a shimmer like eyeshadow, a silver one, whichever really. And then I'm packing it on the center of my lid and blending it out towards my inner corner. And I'm mixing between the black eyeshadow and the white eyeshadow just to make sure they're blended nicely together. Now I'm just going to move the shadows down to my waterline and I'm going to basically do exactly what I did on the top of my lid down the bottom. So I'm going to start off with that light brown and dust it along the bottom, then the deeper brown and then the black closest to my waterline. This isn't a step that you have to do, however I just like to do it because I feel like it makes my eyes look bigger and more prominent when performing and from afar on stage. So once I've completed my eyes, I just dust away any fallout just in case there is any. I use a big fluffy brush for that. If there isn't, then I move straight onto my bronzer. So I just use a more warm toned brown and I use it around the perimeter of my face. So the forehead, along like the hollows of my cheekbones, as well as under my jawline and down my neck. I just feel like this creates a more sun-kissed look as well as a little bit more dimension to your face. And next I'm going in with my contour shade. So this is basically the same as my bronzer. I just use, it's a little more of an ashy tone rather than a warm tone, and I focus it more directly into the hollows of my cheekbones, as well as closer to my hairline and just straight under the jawbone. And now I'm grabbing my blush and I'm just dipping into it and lightly applying some just slightly above where I applied the contour and bronzer. Next, I grab my highlight shade and I apply it to the tops of the cheekbones. Again, this isn't something that you have to do. I just like some shimmer on my face. Applying the highlight will also create a little bit more dimension and will make your cheekbones look more prominent. And now I'm applying a little bit of eyeliner. So I apply that just to the very top of my lid, right near the lash line, just so then when I apply my lashes it's a little bit easier, and if they're not sticking right down against my lashes, like if my false lashes aren't sticking right down against my real lashes, it's not as obvious because I've still got that black line to hide it. And after that, I go in with my mascara and I apply it generously to both the top and bottom lashes. This will just help your top lashes blend in more with the false lashes. Next, I grab my false lashes and I apply some lash glue to them. I apply the glue relatively generously, and then I just let it set for a little bit. So for, I'd say about a minute, I just sit there blowing on the lash glue, and just so then the glue gets tacky so it doesn't slide all over my lid. So the camera cut out now, but I apply my lashes like any basic person would do, and then I apply my red lipstick just to my lips, as you would. I made sure to make it a vibrant red and not a burgundy, because that is the look that we're going for. Not an orange either. Yeah, we want it to be like a ruby red. So you can set the face with either a setting spray, which you can purchase from Priceline or Mecca, any store, or you can just use hairspray as well. It isn't as good for your skin, but it gets the job done and will glue that makeup in for the life of you. And so yeah, this is the final look. I hope it helped you out. And yeah, thanks.